Hello Internet people, back for writing more Haskell. I spent the past few weeks playing with Servant. In the last couple of weeks I think I've mostly been moving code around quite a lot, just restructuring the app and spending some time looking at a sort of temporary in-memory database. So today I want to try and move on and make a bit more progress with actually getting the app working. And in particular, finally, I'm going to try and add the idea of adding an end time or a duration to bookings. So you can book time on an environment and we track not just when it starts, but also when it ends. And then hopefully I can add something to the app to say whether or not an environment is currently booked by comparing it with the current time, seeing it's in between these values. And then maybe we get time, I can look at listing environments that are free, for example, or environments that are currently busy. So that's the plan. At the end of last week, I started looking at this idea of duration, of tracking durations being hours and minutes and days. And I was thinking about ways of being able to sort of pull that out of the JSON and parse it into this structure, and then have some way of converting it back into seconds and so on. But actually, I'm not going to look at that this week. I'm going to revert this a little bit because I think it would be a good opportunity to play with parsec. So I might try and get ready for next week to just spend a week on parsec and look at parsing the sort of description of times or description of durations and see if we can get something working with that. But for now, I want to do the simple thing today and track this away. And check this away, and check away booking duration, and do something a bit simpler just to get it working, because I'm really interested in getting the times working this week rather than playing with parsing times. Okay, so we have booking from, which is a time. I think the simplest thing to do in this case is do a booking to, or until. Might call it from and to, makes sense, doesn't it? And we'll add that here, and it's b.colon. Oh, keyword mapping is wrong. Booking to. And in theory, right, that should in itself should work, and I should be able to start a server up and create a booking with an end time. I think let's give it a go. So first thing I'm going to do is go stack run, so start the server up. Well, compile it first, then start it up. Hopefully. Okay, it says it's running. Get another terminal up. And here I want to say, use curl. I'll just get back a list of environments first, see what I've got. I think I've got a default one. What other curl commands do I have in my history? So this creates a booking on environment 1. Let's go back to environment 0. So I'm now thinking this should fail because we got a start time, but we don't have an end time. I'm also going to just pull the date back a bit because I want to make it realistic. So it's currently, it is 22, is that right? Which way is BST work? It's +1, isn't it? So this will be 20. Okay, so yeah, we now added this field booking to, and it's complaining because we haven't set it. So now we should be able to go, oops, booking to, and then we'll do 2021, 10, 21. Key, it's a lovely specifying time. I'll book it for 2 hours. Okay, it's created it, and if I get the bookings back for environment 0, environment 1 does not exist. Now say we have booking from and booking to. So if I get the environment itself back, environment 0. Just pilot through JQs and see what's going on. You can see it's included the bookings in here. What I'd quite like to do is add a field in here which says that it is that it's booked. So because the time this encapsulates the current time, it should say currently booked, or maybe the status will be booked or available. Yeah, let's have a look at doing that. So get rid of that for a second, and we'll go into where should we go? What should we do? In the environment itself, we got env_id, we got name, should really be env name. But anyway, let's do env status, and it's going to be an environment status, which I will create in a second. Okay, so data environment status is going to be environment booked, or in fact I'm going to try just calling them booked or available, shorter names. Okay, and here we will derive EQ and show and generic. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, so we have environment nothing. Nothing here is the env_id. I might just sort these around to make my life a little bit easier. When you initially create it, it won't have any bookings, so we should be able to say available. And then that. Okay, so the error we have here is couldn't match expected type. So expects environment status, actual type. Environment status. The expected type is data instance. Oh, okay, so we don't have an instance on this for returning it into JSON. No, for pulling it from something back into JSON, which it'll be from JSON that I'm missing. No, it will not be. It'll be to JSON. Instance to JSON. No, it'll be from JSON. We're going that way around. We will need to JSON in a second. Environment status. Now what's going on? So it's similar thing, similar argument. We will need an instance to go to JSON as well, but not really a problem. Okay, let me. I just want to see. I just want to change the type so I can see what happens if I just pass in something that I know works here. So like nothing. Okay. So M status is maybe that, and it's saying it can't match type maybe with this. Expected type is the parser environment, and it gets maybe environment. Okay, so it's something to do with the way I'm calling these, I guess. So I'm just going to get rid of the maybe because I don't really want it. I was just making sure that it was not the new type that I was using. Okay, can we do nothing available, sorry, and then that. Yes, we can. Okay. So we're not parsing this in any special way, we're just setting it directly. Guess that's what I did wrong. And the other thing is I'm kind of curious as to what it looks like when you turn it, when you pull it from JSON and turn it into JSON. Stack REPL. Ooh. Oh yes, I'll just fix a type error before we go on. So this is in DB, we're creating some initial environments. And it should be available. And it's not available, it's DAO.available, which is not going to work, so I'm not exporting it. Export environment, we should also export environment status. Okay, and that now seems to be fine. Okay, so let's pull the REPL up again. Just have a look at to JSON. Let's go. It's ASIN.toJSON. Where did we get this from? Hang on a second. We're importing data. It's data.asin. So can I do data.asin to JSON? Yes, I can. Cool. Okay. Supplement's probably at the top of this file. So it's got a method which is to JSON, and that's kind of it, I think. And to encoding into JSON list and to encoding list. Okay. So I'm just going to, I should be able to call import data.asin. Hang on a second. Just that. I think. Yeah. And then I should be able to call to JSON. Yeah. Okay. So I can say available. It just does a string. That's cool. That's what I was hoping it would do. And booked should come as booked. And then can I say from JSON available as an environment status? Probably need to bracket this up because it's casting the result of this. No, I cannot. Okay, I don't know what from JSON does. Info. No, that. Sorry. Type of from JSON is to result, and what's the type of? Oops. Data. JSON result. What is it? Oh, okay, it's another type. So it's I think an error success. So if I get rid of that, in fact, it must be a higher kind of type because it needs to know, yeah, what it's going into. So it'll be result. Let me put this back again. So it's from JSON available. And the type of this is going to be data dot, we've included data asins, which would say result. and result of environment status. No. Okay, value is actually type char. So what is the type of from JSON again? I got so caught up in the return type, I forgot to look at the first argument. What is value? It's an object array, string, blah, blah. So in this case, we're going to be a string. Oh, wow. How do you turn on the language extension inside GHC? GHCI enable language extension. Colon set minus X. Oh, missed. So it's colon set minus X overloaded strings. Cool. Success and then available. All of that just to make sure that it's decodable properly. There we go. Okay, so where are we now? So we now have something where when we create an environment, it will be initially available. And then when we fetch it, it should display the environment status. But in this case, environment status will just be available every time. It's running, so got the REPL, and then we will just ask for environment 0. It's not showing the it's interesting. It's not showing the status. So have I done something to override that? Environment here isn't got anything. Oh, because it comes back as environment with bookings, that's why. So if we go into the database, we've got, where is it? Get environment with bookings. It calls end with bookings here, which returns now the environment with bookings. Okay, so this does not have the M status, which is of type environment status. Multiple declarations of M status. Oh goodness. M booking status. Okay. That might be enough actually. So I just restart the server. Oh, I need to actually set it as well. Okay, so I'm booking from maybe the M by D, then the name, then the sorted bullshit, sort of bookings, I guess, and then the tau.m status of the environment. Okay, it's a bit long. Just wondering ways I can line break this that will work. That's probably good enough. Okay. There are no more compiler errors, so let's just run it again. Okay, so we get the first environment back. We can now see that the status is available. Cool. So now I'm going to create some bookings across it. That across the current time, it should change that from available to booked. So let's have a look at how we do that. So M with bookings. Just write help for that. So I'll call this get status. And it's going to take, out environment, and it's going to also take the list of bookings, and it's going to return DAO.env status. No, that's not right. It's DAO.environment status. Okay. So get status. What we're looking for, so we've got environment and we've got bookings. We're looking for a booking where the start time is in the past and the end time is in the future. And if we have one, then we will return booked, and if we don't have one, we'll return available. So I should be able to do something like, we don't actually need the environment. I don't think we just need the bookings. Find something in B's where the something is and now it's interesting. So we actually want to get the current time. Is that right? Yeah, so I might just pass in the UTC time. For the current time. Okay, so we've got a B and we're going to say the start time of B looking from is less than UTC time. That's not right. No. Booking from of the booking is less than UTC time. And this is getting a bit long actually. Let's split this out a bit. So I will say where booking started B is DAO booking from, it's not less than UTC time, sorry, I'm going to pass in the current time. It's called now. Less than now, and booking not ended. Is DAO dot booking 2 is greater than now. We'll make these like that. Okay. So now we can say, okay, it's this, and then we say, right, let's just write that whole function. So current booking. No, we don't need to pass B in, sorry. Current booking would come from there. So current booking of B is booking started. Booking started and booking not ended. Now we can say this of nothing, then we are going to return dot available. Otherwise, well, it's going to be just something. We don't care what that booking is. We're going to say thou dot booked. Okay, cool. So UTC time, we'll go and grab. Okay, let's do that thing. Yes, so booking from gives us a UTC time. Oh, it works better if you actually call it on the record. Okay, cool. So now we need to get the current time. I can't remember how you do that. Stack REPL import whatever this came from. Data.time. We've got UTC time here. We do. Okay, cool. There's also a way of getting the current time. I'm just going to go look that up because I've forgotten how to do it. Right, this is good. Data.time. Is T a better name than now? Yeah, so it would be a better name. You're right. I did wonder that actually as I wrote it. Because I'm thinking I'm going to call it with now, but yeah. Very good. End of that. Star. Next. Change those for T. Yeah, I originally thought it's going to be based off the current time, but as I started writing it, you're correct, Tim. It's just it doesn't matter what time you pass in. You're saying is it in that slot. Okay, data time. UTC time for actual times, and is there? I forgot what the function is to get the current time. Oh, get current time. That would work, wouldn't it? Okay. So we get all the bookings. Here we can say get current time. We'll import that. And then in theory we can say here we can say get status, the bookings and the current time. Okay. No errors, but this warning is interesting. So use this. Why not? Get this. Oh, just put get current time at the end rather than yeah, rather than putting that separately. Okay. So is it will it apply it? It will. Okay. This is an interesting bit of formatting, but anyway. Okay, cool. So we now have something that gets the current time and should call get status with it. Probably should have written a test for that, but today is not a testing day. So I'm going to run this. Okay, and then if we get the current environment back, it's available. If I go back in history and I create a booking that overlaps with now, and then I get environment back, it is booked. Look at that. I'm surprised that worked first time, but that's pretty cool. I'm going to celebrate with a little bit more whiskey. Okay. Let me create a new environment. As you can find out, I just create some helpers for these things. So I'm going to create test. If we get the environments back, always go through JQ. Then, this time status is wrong at this point. Okay, so when I'm listing out the environment, I need to fix that. Okay, let's go and do that now before I forget. It feels a bit messy actually having to do this twice. But I might think about it later. So create environment, get environment with booking, get single environment. Let's say this list environments. Okay, so we sort them. And then it might be good to just work out how this works. So something here, we're sorting them on the env-id and pulling that out of this table. So we actually want to do a bit more. We want to map it, I think. So map, and then function for this is going to be, that's really annoying. So we have to pull it back to bookings each time. I need to pull out the bookings to work out the status of each environment. Okay. We can do that. So we can say environments comes from table and bookings is booking table. And we just grab that. Next, change that to in table, just so I know where it's coming from. Okay, so we can say bookings will come from read tbar of booking table. Okay, now we're already under IO, so we can grab the time. Okay, and now we want to map this using something like set status on that. Okay, that doesn't work. So let's put them here. And why is it not complaining? Set status doesn't exist, rather than complaining about the wrong type. Set status. Does this thing exist? Woo. Still saying that. I'm confused here. Set status and that. Then we can say where. Set type there. Set status of environment. I think it's going to take an environment. We'll flip it over in a minute. So we'll take some bookings and a time and an environment. And then we'll just return the environment. So here, I'm just going to partially apply this to bookings. I will need bookings for that environment. And T. And then we update the records and we say status, so M status is equal to get status for the bookings and the time. Okay. There's a way of getting the bookings. Is there a way of getting the bookings? Not really. Although we can call list bookings. Okay, so this is actually going to be list bookings, and it's going to have. Oh, we're inside here. Okay. Let me fix this error. I'll do it with all the bookings, which is wrong. I'm going to try and fix the types. And then I will fix that, and then I will come back and fix the bookings so that we just filter the bookings for each environment. Okay, it's not it. So where were we before? So sort on will work. So we could say like in fact, let's worry about the sort on later. One second, kind of like this map. So forget about the sorting. Let's look at set status. It should be good. So now ignoring that. Couldn't match down environment with list of down environment. So it expects IO list of down environment's actual type IO down environment, which is good, I think. So this is because we're not mapping that. Okay. So now we've mapped this over the table. And that gives us list environments, and then we want to sort them, I think. Sort on DAO.envid. No. Not that either. Okay. So what's the problem here? It couldn't match expected type. DAO environment to DAO environment to listed environments to listed environments with actual type DAO environment. The function is applied to 3 arguments. Okay, but its type one is 2. I mean that makes sense, right? Because this map is going to be a single argument. Let me just store the value of that. So we can say let's ease equal to that, and then we can say so on down.envid of ease, and then we'll make that pure. Oh, that's interesting. So we've ended up here with a list of environments. So let me now take the long way and see if the language server knows how to fix it or how to make it shorter. So that's ends and that. Okay, it didn't suggest anything. Here, I'm just going to leave it at that because leave it at that, but go and sort the bookings. So inside the bookings, we want to get back the bookings for that environment, and that's going to happen under IO. Annoying. So what are we going to do? So to get the bookings back, we could just pass in the DB again and use this list bookings to do it for us. So we could say something like m bookings equals list bookings. It's going to take an environment here e. It's going to say e.id and db. E.id, that's not how Haskell works. It's going to be envid of e. It's in the DAO package. Oh, can I say just that? No. Okay, that's annoying. So the envid might be nil, or it might be nothing. So we were doing it before. How did we do it? do that. So we have an environment. And we didn't need to unmaybe it because we're doing this comparison. This is also maybe ID. Okay, I might just grab that temporarily. So we can specify, and then we can say something like M bookings of E and bookings we don't need to sort them, and this is going to be on all the bookings. Okay, so now we can get rid of this. Okay, so now it's not these bookings, it's the M bookings, E and that. It's a lot of work. Let's see if it works first, and then maybe we can think about tidying up later. Okay, well, does it compile? I guess is the first question. It looks like it should compile. Okay, so let me create a second environment. We'll get the environments back. Both available, that makes sense. So let's create a booking for the first environment that covers right now. Cool, it now says it's booked. The next one is available, and then if we go environment 0, it's still booked, and you get the booking back. Okay, so the final thing I want to do is create a booking for our test environment, but I guess I'll create one that's been and gone, and I'll create another one which is for the future. So in this environment 1, so we'll first of all do one for yesterday. I guess we should do some extra validation to make sure that, like, booking from is before booking to and things like that. But anyway, so we get environments back. 0 is booked and 1 is available, and then we get back 1. It's available, it does have a booking, but it's in the past. Let's do once in the future. We'll do 22nd. Okay, so it's got 1 in the past, 1 in the future, and it's available still, which is cool. And make sure I haven't messed up. There's a logic, but that's cool, so it's still available. Okay, and create one final booking, which goes from 49, so it'll be today, which is 2049 until today, 2052. So you can say it's booked, and that should be the case for a couple of minutes. Okay. So some things I'm not super happy with there. Like, I'm glad it works, which is great. This is a bit horrible. Some of this stuff could probably be extracted out because it's happening a few times. I'm a little bit uncomfortable though with the idea that the environment has got a status set on it. Like, we create it and we say the status is available, and then we override it before we return it. and that doesn't feel quite right. I think it might be, I kind of feel like it shouldn't be in the environment model. It's just some extra information that we're displaying. So I'm wondering if we create like another model, which is not the environment itself per se, but it's the information from the environment that we send to the front end. Or maybe do it in serialization as well, but it doesn't seem right. It's not a serialization thing. It feels more like we should take an environment and maybe bookings, and we should produce from that the information that we want to send back to the front end. But I'm not doing it right now. I'm just happy that it works. It's going to be booked for another minute or so. So I might just commit what we've got. This is adding environment status. It says here. Then I think it's environment. It's setting it. I'm going to create environment. It's adding it to end with booking. It's cool. The booking 2, we're adding it to booking itself. So that's good. That looks right. And the other one is dealing with time inside here. Oh yeah, when we create the initial thing, we'll create this being available. And yeah, this extra work to do the status, and then the list environment to add the status onto there as well. Okay, not a lot of code actually for 1 hour, but it's good code. It's not even good code, it's just concise code. It's 9:52, so it's less than or equal to, so I think we'll still be booked. Oh no, we are now available. Okay, cool. So we've fallen outside the booking window. Okay, so I'm going to commit that. So this is add end time bookings, and now we show the environment booking status. So this is booked or available. Based on the list of bookings and the current time. Cool, I'll push it upstream. And I'm going to stop a few minutes early because I think that's it's a good place to stop basically, because I got something working which is unusual. So next week, if I remember, I'm going to try and be a bit prepared and have a look at parsec and parsing durations, so that we can say, book this from 10 o'clock for 1 hour, and it will work out based on that what the end time is. Yeah, so I might have a look at that and try and do something natural language-y, not really natural language, but like saying 10 minutes and 2 days, whatever else. But yeah, next week we'll come back and have a look at that. So thanks very much for watching, and hopefully see you next week. Goodbye.